Hi, everybody. How are you? Happy Monday. It's Dr. Cruz. What's going on? Okay, so I gotta talk to y'all about something real. Okay, something real, because I see it ruining people's lives, and I don't want your life to be ruined by this, right? So, number one, first of all, before I get to that, number one, do y'all have your morning schedule and your weekly schedule already figured out and written down on your calendar or in your planner or on a postie or something? Because it's Monday, right? And when were you supposed to schedule your week and schedule your day and schedule your morning routine? On Sunday. Okay, so if you don't have your weekly schedule written out and your morning schedule written out and your today schedule written out, please do that. Okay, make time to do that. Make that a daily habit, because it's going to maximize the efficiency of your time and your life, right? Overall, when you're organized, when you have a tight schedule, when you know what you're focused on, you don't get distracted by other stuff easily because you know what your priorities are. Okay, so first and foremost, please do that. Okay, so I see this thing happening a lot to people, and I pray to God that it does not happen to you all. Okay, and it's called stupid mistakes. Stupid mistakes, right? We have to make sure we don't make stupid mistakes, because there's people out here in the world making stupid mistakes, and a stupid mistake can happen early in your life during your teenage years, but usually they can happen in your 20s, or they can happen in your 50s, right? And it's heartbreaking for me when I see people or who are in their 40s. People, I know somebody that was in their 40s or maybe approaching 40s, I'm not sure. And they were in the military and they were about to retire, right? In the military, you can retire after 20 years of service. And this particular person made a stupid mistake, right? Sometimes I think we think that we can get away with stuff that we cannot get away with. We think we can get away with it, right? Maybe we don't get caught the first time. Maybe we don't get caught the second time. Maybe we don't get caught for months. And then whoosh, life snatches your ass up, right? And cuts it. So they were like 18 years in the military, approaching retirement, and they got busted on a drug test, right? There goes 18 years of honorable service. And so they lost their honorable discharge. They lost their education benefits. They lost their retirement pension for the rest of their life. They lost their dignity and their respect. They lost their self-respect. You know, a lot happens when we make a stupid mistake. So please remember, it's so cold out here. Is my face pink? I just came from the gym. So please remember, one stupid mistake, when we think that, I'm not going to get caught up, right? Or sometimes it's not even like that. We just do. We do whatever it is that we do. And we don't really, this is why that scheduling on Sunday is also so very important, because you're consciously thinking, what am I going to focus on? What am I working toward? Right? If we're just going to work every day and we know on a particular day and year or whatever that one day we're going to retire, and we take it for granted, it becomes no big deal, right? We forget, we lose the momentum, we lose the enthusiasm, and we're like, oh, I take it for granted, right? It's no big deal. I'll be okay. And no, you know, we're not always okay. It doesn't always work out that way, because we get sloppy. We take for granted that we know what we're doing and we're good, we're covered, we're getting away with stuff, or we're just doing what we're doing. And sometimes it's unconscious. Sometimes we're just not consciously making decisions. And that is really, really, really important. We need to start consciously making choices and decisions, consciously looking at our life. Where am I going? What am I doing? Who am I tolerating? You know, what am I tolerating? people in relationships, friends that ain't going nowhere, gossipers, jobs that really are leading you nowhere, right? We need to be purposeful about our future, purposeful about our energy, purposeful about, listen, you are a child of the Most High God, okay? And so you weren't made frivolously. You weren't made haphazardly. There is a calling on your life, whether you realize it or not. There is a unique calling on your life. You and only you have the talent and the abilities that you have. And so there is something that you're supposed to be doing while you're here on earth. Okay. So, and that's very important. That needs to be held in high esteem, because only you can fulfill your destiny. No one else on earth can fulfill your destiny. That's your destiny. It's very important to understand that. Okay. And so these stupid mistakes that people make can ruin their lives. Right? There are people, and I used to be one of them, okay? I tell you in all my videos, I'm not a hypocrite. I know what I'm talking about. I've been there for most of the shit, right? Because trust and believe, I wasn't always Dr. Cruz. But that's what makes Dr. Cruz even more phenomenal, right? And it's going to make you even more phenomenal, because people who have lived a real life and then make something of themselves, to me, have more substance than people who, have never been torn or tethered, never walked the edge of life, right? We have walked the edge of life. We've been through some stuff. And glory to God, we are still here to talk about what we have learned and the path that we're taking. And so you are not exempt from that. You have that power as well over your life, right? Whatever nonsense you might be doing in your life, you can stop that. You can halt it and say, okay, let me be more purposeful about what I'm doing. Let me stop making these stupid mistakes, because they can cost me my whole life, okay? Not just a little bit of your life, your whole life. One stupid mistake can cost you your whole life. So let's talk about them. What are some stupid mistakes? Number one, when we're young, we don't realize, right? We're having sex with people and we don't realize, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, one of these fools is going to be the father of my child or the mother of my child, potentially. So stupid mistake number one, well, I think stupid mistake number one was what we already talked about. But stupid mistake number two, right? And they're all potentially lethal. They kill your life, right? So if you have a kid with the wrong person, that's a life sentence, honey. That's a life sentence, okay? And it's not just about, having a kid with the wrong person. You're talking about it's affecting generations. Okay, who you have a child with affects generations, because now you're talking about genetic makeup. You're talking about how intelligent is this group of people that he's or she is related to, right? How intelligent are they historically? Do they have sickness and pathology, medical sickness, mental illness? Do they have respect for people, just basic morality and basic humanity? Are they respectful? Are they coachable? How do they view marriage and relationships and parenthood? Do we have the same ideals in common, right? And when you're just having sex with random people and you're just in the moment because you're lonely or you're needy or you're high or you're drunk or you're just like, let me get on this dating app and see what's out there, right? And you freely give your body, right? First of all, we're not even talking about spiritual problems you could have from that. But, because there's a whole thing about you're spiritually giving someone access to you, right? That there's energy being transferred in the motion of having sex. So you got to be careful about that too. You don't want to share, especially women, you don't want to share your temple, your vessel. This is your vessel and it's your temple, and you don't want to share that with just anybody, right? So you want to be careful about that. So stupid mistake is a woman or man now is stuck with this random forever because you accidentally had a child with this person, So, what else? So we talked about, what was the first one we talked about? We talked about the guy who got high toward the end of his enlistment, lost his retirement, right? And there's no judgment on people. I'm just giving you mistakes that people make. And we're supposed to be here to learn from other people's mistakes so that we don't go through it ourselves, okay? You don't have enough time in life to make the mistakes yourself and rebound all the time, okay? Maybe one, but maybe not, right? And depending on at what part of your life you make this random stupid mistake and what the real consequences are, you may be able to recoup from it, or you may lose half your life because of the consequence, right? So for that person, they went up into their 30s and they were doing just fine, and then they got it cut right at that part, middle of their life. They got to start all over. That's a horrible reality to experience, right? Then there's people who get involved in illegal activity. Listen, you got to think, right? You have a nugget. We weren't all taught to think. Listen, I'm not judging you because I understand, right? I've been there. No one taught me how to think. I'm the most thinking person now ever. I'm like, I'm not doing anything, in oblivion. I'm just not. I need to be wide awake. I need to be wide awake because this is my life and I want to control the direction of it to the best of my ability. And you should want that too. So if you've never been taught how to think, and maybe you don't even realize you don't know how to think, consciously think things out, consciously make choices. But I'm here to tell you, no matter what you're doing, first of all, if you can come up with a vision for your life, then you'll have a direction for your life, right? And if your vision and your direction is well-meaning and it serves humanity, then you're on the right track. Okay. And then if you're on this track to serve humanity, then okay, the behaviors that I have, the characteristics I have as a human being, the people I surround myself with, and all of this kind of stuff, right? The habits that I have, if they don't fall in line with this overall vision for my life, then I'm out of order. I got to stop doing these things, right? So I want to be healthy, right? I was smoking cigarettes for a very long time and drinking my rum and cokes, and I loved my rum and cokes, and I loved my Newports, and then I loved my Marlboro Lights, right? But I had to say to myself, wait a minute, this is not congruent with the person that I want to become or the direction I want my life to go in. So another stupid mistake is us assuming that these bad habits that we have are not going to catch up with us. That's a stupid mistake. It's a very unintelligent decision. Okay, it's going to catch up with us. If we want to be healthy, we need to do the things that keep us healthy. And I'm not saying that you can never have a drink ever in life, but it can't be like an everyday thing. I come home and drink. It can't be that. It can't be I smoke 10 cigarettes a day, and there's still people out there that smoking a pack a day, right? Again, no judgment. I'm just saying these are stupid mistakes we're making because we're not really logically thinking it through, and we're not motivated from logic. If we're drinking, if we're smoking, then number one, we learned that bad habit a long time ago, right? Probably, right? And so at some point, the higher intelligence needs to show up and say, okay, listen, the lower intelligence person that I used to be made this decision to do X, Y, and Z, whatever it is. It could be addiction to porn. It could be cheating on your wife or your husband. It could be, staying out too late and not going to bed at a proper time. Whatever the bad habit is, your higher intelligence, it's time for it to ding, 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 click on, right? Something has to jolt you in life to say, wake up, I wish I had a V8. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping like this video and the videos that I make every day, I try to make them every day, right? But, I'm hoping that this will jolt you to start thinking differently, because I wish I had it. I wish I had somebody. I remember when I was about to Okay, maybe that's too personal. All right, I'm not ready to be that vulnerable yet. Anyway, I'll say this. I remember when I was about to make a life-changing decision once, right? And I did not have the awareness that it was a very stupid decision. But someone else, many people had the awareness. But one person came up to me and they were trying to tell me. But they only told me that one time. And I had years, right? I was already in presumably my 20s or 30s. I don't want to narrow it down too much, but I was already in my 20s or 30s, and one time doesn't cut it. You need somebody drilling in your ass saying, listen, you don't understand, you stupid right now, you stupid, and you don't even know you're stupid, so you cannot do this thing that you think you want to do, because child, on the other side of that is long-term consequence. Right? So if you have a friend, or if you see someone, like a friend, even if you see someone, they're not your friend, right? And you see they're about to make a mistake, and it can have long-term consequences that you could just it's an obvious stupid mistake. You got to stay on them, because they don't realize, they don't have the awareness. And we can walk away and say, well, it's their life, they'll learn. And that's true. And sometimes we got to do that. We have to let people live, right? But please do your damnedest to try to stop it. Do your damnedest to awaken their mindset, okay? If that means you got to take them out to lunch and say, listen, this is just you and me right now. I need you to understand this. And you draw out a picture of like a flow chart, right? If you do this, this is going to happen. And when you do this, this is going to happen, right? Somehow, some way, you got to help wake them up, okay? Because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to love each other enough to care about how they're affecting their own life and how their choices are going to affect humanity. Now, there's boundaries and all of that kind of thing, right? But that's, I'm just talking about in general, right? Okay, so stupid mistakes. The stupid mistakes people make that ruin, I don't want to say ruin, but some of them they ruin your life, right? They definitely alter the path that you're on. So drinking and driving is one. That's a serious one. I used to drink and drive, and I wasn't none the wiser, right? And I had drinking and driving trainings, and I still drank and drove. But I'll tell you something. I thank God that I was kept, because I was ignorant. I was ignorant to the fact. I was ignorant to, how it affects other people. How unhealthy it is just to be drunk, period. You know what I mean? It's just stupid mistakes, right? Stupid habits lead to stupid mistakes, right? And so I'm here to tell you, if you are a drinker and a driver, you are, right? Please stop. Just recently, somebody was drinking and driving, killed a bunch of people, right? It's sad. It's horrible. This person's life is over. They're going to prison for the rest of their life. There are people that I know already in prison for the rest of their life from drinking and driving. Listen, I don't know about you, but I don't want on my conscience that I was the one that killed somebody accidentally. That's a horrible thing to have on your conscience for the rest of your life. It's a stupid mistake. Get an Uber, make plans to have somebody else drive you, spend the night, walk, whatever it is you got to do. Please don't drink and drive. It's a stupid mistake. It's going to cost you your life. It's going to cost somebody else's life eventually, probably. Okay. I have found that life is kind of like a lottery, right? Life is like a lottery, and you never know when your number is going to come up. So you want as many things on your side working for you. So the main thing that you control is your decision making. Okay, get into personal growth and development, get into self-help books, get into doing your work, get you a therapist. Listen, I'm a therapist because I love therapy. I think it's the best thing going. Hypnosis actually is the best thing going. But if you can first of all, if you get a hypnotherapist, you're going to have a little bit of talk therapy in there anyway. They're just not a licensed therapist. I happen to be a licensed therapist and a hypnotherapist. So my clients, they got, a special prize with me. But I'm actually waiting to see my therapist right now, right? Because every therapist should have a therapist. And everybody, my opinion, everybody should have a therapist. Whether you use your therapist once a quarter, once a month, once a week, it's up to you. But if you have somebody like that, that holds confidentiality, that you can trust, that, and there's limitations to the confidentiality, right? So if you tell them you're going to harm yourself or harm someone else, they have to break that confidentiality. But if you tell them, I bite my toenails, they're not they're not going to tell anybody, right? They legally and ethically have to keep that confidential. That's a stupid example, but you have that person. That's an ace in your pocket. Having a therapist is an ace in your pocket. Having a hypnotherapist is an ace. I think it was Kobe Bryant, somebody, I don't know, there's many of the sports people. They go through hypnosis so that they can get their mind right to play the game right? But nobody talks about it because it's the best kept secret. Hypnosis is the best kept secret. And, I'm here to let you know. Smart people are using them, right? So anyway, okay. Drinking and driving, stupid mistake. Random sex with people, especially unprotected. Don't be the fool. Don't be the fool that catches herpes and AIDS and, HIV and chlamydia and gonorrhea. Like, those things are real, right? Stupid mistake. Don't do it. Have protected sex, and don't just have random sex with random people all the random time, because if you're doing that, you're acting out from something internally, okay? Because people who are focused and productive and know what they're doing and want to build an empire or want to build some kind of legacy for their family, which is, we should all be wanting to do that, they're not out here having random sex with people, right? People that are out here having random sex with people, I'm not judgmental. I'm gonna leave it alone. Y'all know what it is. I don't want anybody feeling like I'm judging them, right? I used to have random sex with people too. You know what I'm saying? We're all the same. We're all the same. I'm just here to tell you I'm on the other side of the stupid mistakes. And this is what I know to be true in my life, okay? In my situation. The people that I know and knew having random sex with people, they're just not mentally strong. They're not mentally solid. They're not so much mentally strong. They're just not focused on something that's healthy. They're just wasting time. If you got time to be just randomly having sex with people, you're not focused on your money and your legacy and your children. And you know what I mean? Like, what are you building? You're not. You're trying to fill a void. You're trying to occupy your time. You're lonely. You're looking for something or whatever, whatever the case may be. Again, no judgment. Just if you're the one out here looking for love in all the wrong places, having random sex, and if it's unprotected, and if you're attracted to things that look like they live in the damn dumpster sometimes, you might want to reconsider. Because if you have children with that person, that's a lifelong sentence, honey. Male and female. So hold yourself with high esteem. Have standards for the people that you have sex with. Have standards for the people that you have relationships with, whether it's friendship or romantic, and don't just fall for any okie doke. You know what I mean? Because that's a lifelong sentence for you, for your children, and for future generations. You know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't even here yet. They didn't ask to be here. So the least you could do is prepare their path the best way you can. And the main way you do that is to ensure that you get involved with quality people. Okay? Someone who has a brain, someone who's intelligent, someone who's building something in life, someone who's decent, and everybody's not going to be a 10, right? But you don't need a 10. You do need a 10 in their heart. You do need 10 in their mind. You know what I mean? It's that serious. That's all I'm going to say about that. And the last stupid mistake, let me think. What's another stupid mistake people make? Just not having a vision for your life. Feeling stuck and unmotivated, unenthusiastic. It's not so much a stupid mistake, but in today's day and age, you should know better. You should know better, because Instagram, Facebook, everybody's spitting how good life can be for you. You know what I mean? If you just do these certain things, your whole life can shift. So if you're in poverty, you don't have to stay there. You know what I mean? You can change your circumstances. So a stupid mistake would be to believe that, to give up hope, just to believe that you can't do anything better. That's a stupid mistake, because with all the information that we have access to today, that's a stupid mistake you're making. Because wherever you are in life does not have to determine your ultimate result. You know what I mean? It's like, nah, it's just a lifting pad. You know, wherever you are, you could lift off from that. All right. Okay. I'm cold, so I gotta go, and I'm sure my appointment's ready. So you guys have a great day. You know where I'm at, capricruise.com, and I wish you a wonderful day. Bye, guys.